Welcome to the Star Player Spotlight, where we sprinkle shine on star players shaking up the stratosphere. Okay, hello, star players. Welcome to what is going to be the first episode of Star Player Spotlight. As you guys who have been following me for a while, you know I have a saying. It's called Able, always be launching everything. And I get that from a business podcast that I listen to called T-Boy, so shout out to them. And so this is the delivering on that mindset of always be launching everything. This is not my first attempt at a podcast, it's my second, but here we are. Let's leave the past in the past. With me today, I have the beautiful, wonderful, and goddess herself, Nzingha Crusoe, who is the founder and CEO of Fifth Lenox Studios, which we'll get all into. But first and foremost, I just want to congratulate you, Nzingha, on taking the leap of faith in these trying times, and you're here, you've arrived, and I want you to introduce yourself and tell us about Fifth Lenox.
Hi. Ariel, first and foremost, congratulations on moving forward and take to it this podcast thing. If there's anybody I believe in, it's you. So congratulations on that. And thank you for that warm welcome. I'm humbled by it. But Star Players, I'm Nzingha Crusoe. I am the founder of Fifth Lenox Studios. And Fifth Lenox is where purpose plus style equals your best self. I'm here to help women and truly anybody show up as their best self, look their best, and feel their best.
Yeah, and I can already testify to her services. She has a gift when it comes to this. Most of you know that I am now 3 months, almost 4 months postpartum of delivering my twins. And in the midst of my figuring out what does back to work look like for me, how do I dress my new body, I actually turned to Nzingha's styling consultation. And within maybe an hour, we had a week's worth of clothes, outfits.
And like, clothes in your closet.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's a real deal. Okay, so tell us a little bit about how you have incorporated our affirmation cards into your business.
Yeah, so at Fifth Lenox, we're all about how you feel. Like style, to me, is a feeling. It's not necessarily what you see, but it's how you feel. And I start any session, any consultation, getting an understanding of how my client wants to feel when they show up. And so I've started each session using the affirmation deck. I've gotten a chance to do it with 3 clients now, and I shuffle the deck. I have them pull out 3 cards. 3 is my favorite number. I have them pull out 3 cards, and we just read it and take a deep breath. And it's just like just letting that, I don't want to say guide us, but just letting it sink in. And I guess guide is the word. Guide how you feel. And it's been really positive. It also helps my clients show up a bit more vulnerable.
Yeah,
so they're true. You know, it kind of like strips back a layer or two. Like one of the cards I read, with a client who had just also had a baby, and it was like the people who are supposed to be here. And she got a little bit emotional. And what better way to like tackle your closet than in your most raw, vulnerable state, because that is you at your core.
Yeah. And that's music to my ears. I don't know. It's like ever since I came out with this product, you know, as an artist, you can control the input of the piece that you put out. You can't control like how people react to it. And so hearing this is just humbling. I don't know, it's just so touching. And on that note, I thought we'd start today's session with a poll of our own.
Okay, I got one right here too. So
let's just see what the energy of today's conversation holds for us. And yeah, thank you so much for working this in. Can't tell you how much I appreciate it.
For you, I will.
Okay, so the 3 that we have, that just pulled, is my routine, is my path to freedom. Bow.
Okay.
Each day, liberation is rushing my way. Lord knows I want to be liberated.
Amen. Yes.
and the pathway to freedom is being revealed to me. And it might just be this podcast for all I know.
Hmm. Can you read
Any of
that
those?
first one again?
Let's see.
They all kind of were like right up my alley and where I am in life.
So the first one was my routine is my path to freedom.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that one hits me deep in a way that's hitting me where I need to work on some things because my life is very layered between 9 to 5. I'm in an MBA program, running Fifth and Lenox. I got a dog that walks 3 times a day. In addition to probably a bunch of other things that I'm not mentioning. And my routine is a bit jumbled right now.
Hmm.
And I'm looking for a sense of freedom, a sense of like rest in all
Yeah.
of that. So
Yeah.
that one called me out.
No, that's not the intention. Maybe let's offer a new perspective. So within
Okay.
your routine, that's your time to just like be on autopilot, if you will. And that's was my thinking when I made that because I read somewhere or heard somewhere that Einstein he would meditate while he was doing routine things like shaving because once you get the muscle memory, once you do it every day and all the time, then while your body is going through this kind of like on autopilot, then that's when you could let your mind kind of wander. I mean, not
Yeah.
too far. Don't let the dog run in the street, but like, you can kind of use your tap into your imagination. So you're doing
Yeah.
good.
Thank you. I received that.
Okay, so anything else you'd like to share before we get into the questions that I have prepared for you today?
On the affirmations cards, I'll also share another client, like, and this was the one that cemented, okay, this is going to be a part of each session. So I believe the card we pulled was I am now who I've always been. And this client, I feel like, was always trying to either set new goals, check all the check boxes, and prove to herself that she was something that she already was. And in this season of her life, she's just now starting to feel that way. Like, I am that girl, I've been that girl. And now she is just stepping completely into it. And part of that is her outward presentation matching her inward self. So the affirmation cards have been like so clutch in adding to my sessions because style is also therapy too. I'm starting to feel like a therapist on the low.
And you are, man, you are doing God's work for real because what you mentioned earlier, the word you used was vulnerable. Like, people barely want to take you in their room. Taking you into their closet is like the inner chambers of the mind, low key, because it's, we all know as above, so below, as within, as without. Like, how you got your closet set up or not set up, or what's in there, how realistic you're being with the sizes that are in there, like
Okay.
what it smells like in there, like it all is a reflection. So, girl, I'm telling you what I see for your business. I see Fifth and Lennox hosting fashion shows during New York Fashion Week. Um, you know, even if it's not attached to a Fashion Week event, but like you're strong enough to do your own thing. You got so many connections. You run Harlem, okay? Um, and like, if I could just be the moderator or the MC,
Yes and
if
yes.
I could just touch the hem of your cloak. But yeah, nah, I see you just taking the women you empower and watching their confidence skyrocket to the point that they want to walk for you and model some of the things that you've helped style them, some of the pieces you've helped style them with. And I just see that for
From your mouth to God's ears.
you. Would you want to do that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I see big things for Fifth and Lennox.
Me too. Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Okay. So you actually helped me transition right into what I wanted to ask you today, which is tying the work that I do into the work that you do. I'm all about this spirit of collaboration over competition. Like, it's just not the way the new world is set up. So I'm going to pull up my questions again. All right. So understanding that the work you do with Fifth and Lenox Studios is all about empowerment. As a reminder, the work that I do with affirmations is not just fluffy language, it's not just woo woo to make you feel good. It's about tackling three mental issues that I noticed when I was working with my career clients, and those were performance anxiety. A lot of them would come to me so nervous about the opportunities they were going for, whether they be, new job opportunities. So I started offering mock interviews because they were feeling this anxiety about going for these opportunities. So performance anxiety, negative self-talk, which is what affirmations are a direct solve for. A lot of people have these loops on repeat in their head of things that they've been told when they were impressionable, like as a kid, by adults that should have probably been showing up in more safe ways, but that didn't, and that happened to a lot of people. So that negative self-talk is what I work to combat with affirmations. And then finally, especially with my background in corporate America, imposter syndrome, feeling like you don't belong. A lot of clients will come to me, they land that dream job using the resume that I did for them, but then every quarter or every, month or so, can we update this one bullet? Like, it was kind of showing through the conversation that they just, even though had they secured their place, they still didn't feel like they belonged. And so they were kind of relying very heavy on the resume to carry them forward, which is fine, but that's not the whole of you as a candidate. So I want to ask you some questions based on those three mental blocks as it relates to your business. So question one, how does negative self-talk impact the way you show up from a wardrobe perspective?
So one thing that just keeps coming to mind as I'm hearing you speak about the experiences we face in corporate, whether it's imposter syndrome, anxiety, is people treat you how you treat you, right? So if you walk into a room looking like a woman who treats herself well, the room will treat you well. And so your outward experience, your outward presentation is a part of that. Whether it's you look like you drink your water, you look like you ironed your clothes in the morning, you look like you took that extra bit of care on yourself, that prompts others to take that extra bit of care with you. Just from my personal experience, sorry, my dog.
Hey, God. Look, God know when to hear the truth.
And I thought about, like, should I put her up? But
Nope.
all right.
How does negative self-talk impact the way you show up from a wardrobe perspective?
Yeah, so as I was saying, people treat you how you treat you. So if you walk into a room looking like you treat yourself well, more than likely that room will treat you well because you've already commanded a certain level of respect. And your wardrobe is a representation of that too. Like, if you look like you took that extra bit of time to get ready in the morning or present yourself to the world, people are going to take that little extra bit of time when they're talking to you rather than being curt and rude to you, right?
Yeah.
Because your presentation already says, I don't go for that. I also, for me personally, and I'm seeing it with the women who I work with, I've always felt my best when I look good. If I have to do a presentation, if I have to lead a training, if I have an interview, I want to look my best because that in turn helps me perform well. I like to say Deion Sanders said, when you look good, you play good. When you play good, they pay good. So it's all related to one another. And, people may agree with this or disagree with this, but I also think how you present yourself to a room full of people, how you present yourself to the world also can be an indicator of your competence just from a visual standpoint. I'm in business school right now. If a professor comes in front of me, and often they do frumpy, those first few minutes is like, do I want to listen to this person? It's not engaging and intriguing from the start. And then negative self-talk. People can feel how you treat yourself. So if you talk to yourself in a negative way or talk down to yourself in a negative way, other people will do the same to you. And so no different than when you're dressing. Don't dress down, dress up. Dress up for the
Yeah.
occasion. No such thing as being overdressed. And I think that especially with black women, we've been taught to shrink ourselves. Put on every piece of jewelry you want. Do that. Like if that is what okay, like if that is what's gonna make you feel good, do that. For me, red lipstick is my armor. When I have on red lipstick, I got business to take care of. So
Okay.
do those small things. I have affirmations all over my home, and now I have this deck of cards that I'm leaning on. How you treat yourself, how you talk to yourself, in turn, is how others will treat you and talk to you.
I love that. We are going to talk about imposter syndrome. Okay, so set the scene. You're somebody that's been styled by Z, trusted Fifth Lenox, and now you're going up for that opportunity. You're walking in through the doors of this dream job, but you get hit with a feeling of imposter syndrome. How does your outfit choice help fight against imposter syndrome?
Yeah. So, you know, clothes are material things, right? But we put those clothes on our bodies, right? Our bodies protect our soul. So you're really dressing, to me, this is how I approach it. You're dressing your soul. So those clothes that you sat down with a stylist, me, and we talked about how you currently feel, how you want to feel. Those clothes are a representation of who you already are, right? And so once you put on something that truly reflects who you are, you should already stand up taller. Um, you might talk a little louder. You might articulate yourself a little better. So I think that when you look how you feel and you look good and now you feel good, I think that like imposter syndrome kind of goes out the window. I don't want to say fake it till you make it, because I truly, truly, truly feel that the decisions that we make in terms of what we put on our bodies are a reflection of what's inside of our bodies. And so once your outside reflects what's inside, I think that is really when women start to feel like their best selves and their most confident selves.
Yeah, no, I have chills just listening to your responses. I told myself I would add color at the end, but no color. You've colored inside the line, outside the line, and on the front of the coloring book. So,
And
next question.
but I'll also add this, because it took me a long time. Like Fifth and Lenox have been on my heart for a while, and it took me a long time to launch it because I felt like it may come across shallow. Like, oh, she's talking about clothes, but it's so much more than clothes. It's your confidence. It's how how you feel on the inside. And so many women struggle day to day, just what do I wear? In a hybrid society, I have a client who's a partner at a law firm, and she's just like, sometimes I just choose not to go to the office because I don't know what to wear, or I don't feel good in the clothes that I have. So I've learned through the women who I work with that clothes are not shallow. And the things that I even speak of today, they have taught me, like, we are dressing for your soul.
Yeah, and that's deep. I'm so happy that you're able to gather these insights, because trust and believe. Yeah, you may be seeing it at a micro level with one client here and there, but every person you work with, there's 200,000 more people that feel exactly the same
Yeah.
way. So you really are filling a void. And then my third question is, what ways does your outward appearance help to cope with anxiety? So setting the scene again, you're going up for that big interview, you work with Nzingha, Style by Z again, but you start getting heart palpitations on the elevator on the way up, which we know you're about to go up for this performance. Interviews are performances.
Yeah.
How does your outward appearance help to cope with performance anxiety?
Yeah, so I'm an ex-athlete, so a lot of how I think about things has to do with sports, and no different than a basketball player preparing for a game. You prepared for that interview. Part of preparing for that interview was thinking about, what am I going to wear? Laying those clothes out, the night before, ironing those clothes. What am I going to smell like? So like, I think finding confidence in the preparation that you put into your outward appearance can sort of help you with that. And similar, with me being an ex-athlete again, I like to say style is a muscle. You can't just wake up one day and put on a fly outfit and be that fly person. You gotta work your way. You gotta work your way into it. You gotta start getting dressed a little bit more. Putting on lipstick once a week or something, and it really just helps you build your style over time. And once you put that time in, no different than an athlete who's made it to a championship game or a championship match, you've done that work. You've prepared. So that kind of helps ease that imposter syndrome, I think.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And like, you've just been packaging everything so beautifully. I did want to go back just to give our viewers a little bit of context. So Nzingha and I have known each other for more than 10 years now. Like, we go back. But thinking about what you said with Fifth and Lenox, like while it was still in the ideation stage, that day you sat down with me at the grill in Brooklyn, and it was basically an idea on a napkin. Like, walk us through that decision from then, maybe contemplating, is this too shallow? What can I do with this? Where can I go? I remember the conversation, but I think it's a beautiful trajectory from starting there. It started earlier than there. That's just where I got involved. All the way to here, where you have clients that are doing amazing things, and you're offering multiple swim lanes of services. So walk us through that journey.
Yeah, that you caught me at the very sort of like, so Danessa Myrick says, do it scared. You caught me at that. I'm scared and I think I'm doing it. Now I'm like completely just doing it scared. I would say months before that, our date at Negril, I was like 10 toes down in my corporate career. Like, this is what I want to do. I'm at my dream job. There's nothing else for me but this job. Then performance reviews came around and I was rated poorly for whatever reason, no reason at all, whatever, right? And so something started to click in my head. We had an impending election coming up. I worked in diversity, equity, and inclusion. Our economy was starting to shift. Corporations globally were starting to shift away from DEI. And I had to start asking myself, like, what was next for me? Like, I saw my lane sort of like not just shrinking, but running out. And I was just like, simultaneously, I had also been praying to God to reveal to me what my creative mode was, because I felt these creative pulls, but I didn't know what my creativity was. Like, I didn't think of myself as a formal artist. I can't paint. I'm not a dancer. I'm not an actress. But I felt creative. And so I would literally pray to God to reveal to me like what my creative gifts were. And over time, I realized I would help my friends pack for trips. I would help my friends get dressed for those interviews. I would help my friends, everything related to their exterior, right? And so God finally answered my prayers and revealed to me, like, your gift is helping other women feel beautiful. Your gift is helping other women look and feel their best, right? And it's not about wearing the most expensive clothes. It's not necessarily always about going out and shopping, but you have clothes in your closet that you've already picked. How can you feel beautiful in what you have? So there was a humbleness that came with that. And so I started leaning into it more because I prayed for this. God revealed it to me. And so I literally say, this is my gift. This is my gift. And God has me on assignment right now to help as many women as I can feel as beautiful as they can, no matter what stage they're at in life. So just to take it back to you're going to have to keep me focused, because I'll start giving my testimony.
That's what we're here for, girl. We're here for you.
And so I asked myself, what would I be doing? So let's say I get fired tomorrow, and that did happen. It wasn't tomorrow, but a few months later, I was laid off. I asked myself, like, what would I be doing if there was no money attached to it, and like what would bring me happiness? And everything just kept coming back to helping women feel beautiful.
Yes.
That's my purpose.
Yeah, and you are walking in it, you're fulfilling it, and I'm just glad to have be a tiny lily pad on your leap towards success. While you were talking about styling people, I remember one time we were at Embody, and you were like, I just got clothes for everything. I wore my club clothes to church, my church clothes to the club, my club clothes to work. You just started mixing and matching. And I was like, I should have known then the way that you think about fashion is just so multifaceted and like multi-dimensional. Because I never heard anybody be like, I want my club clothes to church, my church clothes to the club, my work clothes to like, okay, you got it figured out,
Let
girl.
me tell you, I still talk about that because I truly feel like, and especially when I work with people, I truly feel like you should have clothes for different things. And sometimes the lines get blurry, but I was in a stage, I was in my 20s, I was a hot girl, so I was wearing my club clothes to church and my church clothes to chapter, and
Yes. I just never forgot that. It was, mind you, years ago, and sometimes I walk in my closet and that's on loop in my head. Like, you never got to be confused about what to wear. You could make these clothes live multiple lives. So yeah, I always appreciated that.
Yeah, maybe I gotta
Well,
see
where
myself
can the
as a rapper
people
too.
find you?
Okay, so you can find me on Instagram at Fifth Lenox Studios. You can also follow my personal page. That's at nzinga.z. And also you can head to fifthlandlenixstudios.com. Just if you're curious and you want to see what wardrobe services I offer, you can book a consultation with me just to kind of talk through what I offer. Chemistry is a thing, so like I like to get to know people before I tell them what to put on their bodies, and build a little bit of a rapport and a little bit of a relationship. So that's what we do in our consultation. So yeah, am I on all socials? Nope, just find me on Instagram for now
Yeah.
and the website.
Amazing. And her website looks fantastic. I love how she's like putting herself in the business, all the photo shoots, hit, no misses anywhere. Like, and you do more than just styling. You do makeup as well, like makeup consultations.
So I am starting to do beauty consultations because what I'm realizing with my repeat clients is like now they have their style down and they're like, well, what do I do with my hair? Or how do I do a 10-minute face just to get to the office? And so by no means am I a makeup artist, but I will say I am a makeup enthusiast and a beauty enthusiast. So I can definitely take you through a work face or even a weekend face, and even make recommendations for products and makeup items you may want to try.
Got you. Okay. It's expanding. I love it. That is everything I have from my end. I can't thank you enough. I love that we're both in this season of collaboration. It's unfortunately hard to come by amongst our people these days, but like I said, the new world is going to be one of collaboration, not of competition. So the fact that our products are going right into your services, and if there's anything else we can do, we just want to keep this synergy going. Thank you so much, and I'm gonna stop recording unless you have something else.
No, you're good.
All right.
Hey beautiful, how did you start your morning today? Did you hit the snooze button, maybe scroll a little? What if you started it with a little more intention, a little more you? Sometimes the world gets loud, imposter syndrome whispers lies, performance anxiety tries to hold you back, and that negative self-talk. We're putting an end to that right now. I am worthy of all the good things coming my way. This isn't just a card deck, it's your daily reminder of the power you already hold inside. Each card is a seed of empowerment planted by you for you. Start your day with intention. Remind yourself of your magic. Your journey to self-love starts with a single thought. Find your power with the Celestial Content Creations Affirmation Deck. Click the link to get yours. You deserve it.